wider in the middle and narrower towards the base, and correcting every so often to try and maintain a certain degree of symmetry. Okay, so here we go. Bear with me for a few minutes here. And I think the children should be able to do this very simply. All right, so I've got the bowl, the volume of my pot. And what I want to do is I want to create, a neck and then a rim at the lip. So I'm going to start pushing it in a little bit, like this, pushing it up, pushing it in. And what I found tends to work, I have all this material, and I've found that in order to narrow the neck, see, this is a very broad kind of profile. I want to narrow the neck. So I'm just going to, it's like when you sew, you just take out for the darts. And so I'm just going to take out material around the edge and squeeze it together. I'm doing this at 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, as it were, if it were clocks. So what I've done here is now narrowed the neck. So it's rather crude, I realize, but it's gives you the idea. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to stop for a moment, and I'll be right back. So here we are with the basic shape of our amphora, which is one of the types of Greek pots. It's basically just a jug. And I'm just going around a little bit and trying to look at it and pat it a little bit to make sure that it's as symmetrical as I can possibly make it. And remember, we are going to be painting on this surface, so I'm trying to make it as smooth as I can. And that's very easy. You just take your fingers and for instance, I'll just make a little dot here myself, and then you just wipe your finger or thumb over it, and the clay will smooth out. I have to say, clay is very forgiving, unlike oil paint or metal. It's very, very friendly, forgiving. So this isn't perfectly symmetrical, but it'll do for today. And what I want to do is I want to put a lip, and then I'm going to be putting handles on this. So what I'm going to do for the lip, I have my base. I don't want to forget that that's what that is for. I'm going to make a flat coil. So I'm just going to roll it out, which the kids will enjoy doing. And I have to make it the right length, the right thickness, and the right width. So let me just do that. Sure, this looks familiar to everyone. Okay, so I am flattening this out so I can make a flat rim. I just want to see if this is going to be long enough. Yeah. And then just to even out the edges, just going to pat it down a little bit so that the sides have a certain edge to them. Okay, now again, I'm going to score the lip of my little jug here. And it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be deep either. Just kind of crisscross like this. And then the side that goes down on top of it, of my lip, piece of clay, I'm also going to score, because it's when you get the two scored sides together that you have a better chance of the two separate pieces of clay adhering to one another. All right. Not too deep, remember. Okay. Then again, the recipe is a little bit of water and a little bit of water here. All right. Wish me luck. Here we go. So you just carefully put this around, pressing down a little bit, and then pinching off what you don't need anymore. Okay, so start smoothing it together, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch this up a little bit so that the lip and the pot meld into one piece. And hopefully the lip will not fall off once the thing is dried. Okay. So it tends to finish it off a little bit better than if we had just left the top of the pot unfinished. Okay, so that's basically the form of the pot. Now I think I'm going to save the foot for last because I still have to deal with the little handles. And again, I think we can talk about, there's a lot of things obviously we can talk about, but you know, again, the idea of symmetry and balance, proportion, not that this is a fabulous example, but at least we can try and talk about it a little bit. All right. So we're going to move along now to the handles. And again, the handles activate the clay piece, because otherwise it would just be sitting there doing nothing. But once you add handles, you imply that people will be using them, pouring with them, carrying them. Actually, the handles are used, they used to hang the pots as well. Okay, so I think what I want to do is a volute handle, and which is like a spiral. It's from a later period of Greek pottery. So again, I'm going to make a long coil